Hey traders, welcome to 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 Trading, and my name is Simon, and today we're going to go over the trades of March the 17th. However, before I do get started, do subscribe and hit that like button. I am giving away one free lifetime membership to our course and all of our premium channels and awesome tools on our Discord to one lucky winner once we hit 250 subscribers. So the first trade was NAOV. So this one here pumped. So we always do the pump at the 4 p.m. The day before, about 90%. So it pumped once, it came down, and then it pumped back again here. So we identified a resistance point up in the $4. So I always try to go a little bit below a square number. My sweet spot is 6 cents below, 5 to 6 cents. So let's say it's $4, we will go $3.94. So we entered right here, which was a great trade, and then it just tanked that open up to $3.05 at this purple line. So you'll see that most of our exits are purple lines, or the next day is ideal. We don't take these trades for more than 24 hours, because once the pattern happens, we don't know what's going to happen the next day, right? It could do 2 green days in a row. We just want to do this one green day, it tanks to the purple lines, and we're out. So this one here on a $10,000 account, you would have made $89, and on a 50K account, you would have made $356. Next one on the list, 𝐟𝐸VB. So same thing with this one here. We identified a resistance point at 476, and I actually took this one exactly at the resistance point we did, so it was 476, and then it tanked right away to 346 for a nice profit of $1.30. So on a 10K account, it would have been $130, and on a 50K account, it would have been $520. And if you look at the 4-hour candle on this one here, just to show you guys that the resistance point that I picked is legit, and that I'm not just making something up. It hit right here, and it hit this one right here. So this is the highest of all the previous ones. This is the highest, like it touched this and hit the high of this one here, and this candle here went as high as 476. So that's why I drew my line here, and that's why my entry was right there. But at the same time, if you look at this one here, this high almost matches this high here. So some people got in, in the 470s, 490s, because they decided to go just below this high one. But I played a little bit safer. I went with this one here and this one right here. Next trade is GLMD. It's worth 5 minutes. That's what we trade. Let's go back. So we identified an SS2 entry right here. So when a stock halts like this, I just did a limit order at this SS2 entry, and with the halts, when we do a limit order, it will always give you the opening price of the candle. So this opened at 312. So this actually should be at 312, but I got in at 311. And then from here, there was a resistance point right here, so we averaged up here. Now, averaging up so quickly, it's very dangerous, because they could have went all the way up to here, and this is where you wanted to average up. But March has been a very slow month, and stocks have not been running as high as they used to. So I took a chance, I took a gamble on this one, and it worked out for the best. So here's positions here, double your position there, and then this one here we cover at this purple line in the at 4 a.m. So what happens here is, or if you didn't want to pay the overnight fees, some people got out right before. So when it's this close to the purple line, there's not much difference in profit, right? There's 241 to 230. So unless it was extremely cheap for the overnight fees, most people would have gotten out here. But I just wrote 239 here just to show you that it did do our pattern. It did hit this this purple line. So like for example, this one here, because we did a double entry, it's a big winner. So we did $140 on a 10K account and $704 on a 50K account. Next one is ADTX. This one here ran for multiple days, but we nail it on the first one. So this one here, because we got such a really nice entry, so this entry right here, it's not really an entry. I kind of FOMO'd into this one here because a nice pump, and it went sideways a little bit, and I just thought, hey, look, I nailed it at 792, it's looking good, but it just pumped. We hit another resistance point right here at 992, and then it tanked. And so when I'm like really big in a profit like this, sometimes it hits this this midpoint, which is what we call midpoint, the yellow line, and I do a range order, and I'm like, you know what? Here's the midpoint. Here's my purple line. I'm going to, let's say, take a chance. I'm gonna do a range order. If it goes to 717, I'm out, or if it goes to about 660, I'm out. And unfortunately, this one here, it tanked and it pumped and went up and closed me out at 717. Either way, my exit would have been right here anyways at 725. So it got slightly better doing this, but my exit would have been right here because it did touch the purple line right here. Okay. Now, once it hits this resistance point here, afterwards, it's a gamble. It can go anywhere, and this one here had a lot of potential of going up. So if you look at the 4-hour candle on this one here, you know, we nailed the resistance right here, right? The 992, the $10. That's why our entry at 992 was perfect. But we also had a nice resistance somewhere up in this area, 15-ish, right? So we were scared that, you know, if it passes this and it breaks above it, it can go all the way up to $15. So that's why we did not trade the pumps afterwards. So we didn't touch this one here, and we did not touch this one here because it got really close to this $15 mark. Okay, and this one here would have been 235 on a 10K account and 940 on a 50K account because we had 2 entries, so we had double our positioned in that one there. ENDP, let's have a look at this one here. So this one here, so this is actually really nice. So sometimes the stock will halt like this, and a little trick with halts is if you do a limit order at the top of the close of this candle. So this one right here, it closed at 127. If you do a limit order at 127, you will always get in at the opening of the candle. And this one here, look, it opened. If you look up here, the open, it opened at 170. So that's your entry right there. So you enter at 170, which you nail the top with a limit order, and it just crashed right down to the 87 cents for a nice 83 cents win. So a lot of times you'll see a stock halt a couple times. If you decide to play the halts and want to get in, you do a limit order at the closing of this candle, and it'll always give you the best price. So this one here actually worked out perfectly. So this one here on a 10K account would have been $83, and on a 50K account would have been $332. Next one is BTAI. Let's have a quick look at this. So same thing with this one here. You know, it pumped to a resistance point, which is the SS2. And because this pivot here, like I said, it's at the roughly $3. I went down a little bit at the 296 because I'm like, you know what, if it hits 3 and it tanks, I'll miss it by 5 cents. I didn't want to play that game, so I went slightly under the $3, and it tanked right away, and we made 63 cents a share on this one, which is nice, which was a nice little win. And so this one here would have been a nice $63 win on a 10K account, and on a 50K account it would have been a $250 account. $250 win. BNZI. So this one here was a very small winner. So we identified again a resistance point. Well, this is a pivot point. I don't like trading stocks under 175, $2. There's just not a lot of like meat on the bone for profit, but some people in our group definitely took this one. And so once again, at the 150 mark is the resistance, and you go or the pivot point, and you go at this 144. That's my entry, 144, and you go all the way to the purple, and this is 22 cents per share. So this one here is only $22 for a $10,000 account, and on a 50,000 account it would be $69. Now let's go to BDTX. Alright, so this one here it pumped, quite a bit. 60%. We identified a resistance point here at the 265, and I took it there. For some reason, this one here, because it was the institutional ownership was very high on this one here, I just figured, you know what, I'm gonna give it the price that I want. Like usually I would go like 250 minus the 6 cents at 244, but this one here, I'm just like, if I'm going to take this trade, because it's a little bit more high risk because of the institutional ownership percentage, if it hits my price, I'm getting in, which it did. So it hit my price, I got in, and it came right back down this purple line. And this one here on $10,000 account, you would have made $60, and on a 50K account, you would have made $258. Next one is Wint. So this one here, it pumped I think this one here pumped quite a bit too. Right, so this one here hit 50% at the top of this here, and then over here it hit 100%. So a lot of stocks this month, they just kind of go up and then they tank really quickly. So I thought because of the red candle, I thought it was going to do the same thing here. So I entered here at 230. That's why there's no SS here, because it was just a intuition kind of entry. So I'm like, sweet, it's going down, and then next thing you know, oh, it pumped, and then this one here I did kind of like a pre-MACD cross anticipation. I saw that it hit almost 350 and it came back down. So 350 is one of those round numbers where, hey, you know what, it could have hit 350 and then tank. So I took it at 310, and then we cover, obviously, at this purple line for 47 cents per share. So that's $47 for a 10K account, and then for a 50K account, it's $235. And then the last win on Friday, it's just a small win. So usually Fridays I don't like holding the stock longer than I have to. So most of the time I will get out at the midpoint here, just because I don't want to hold the stock overnight on a Friday. You have to pay for the owner fees for Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Sorry, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it can get pretty costly, especially when you have runners that go sideways for a very long time. This could have been, I didn't check, it could have been $5, $10 to hold overnight. Times 3, it adds up pretty quickly. So we identified the SS4 way up here from the previous close. And then, so I skipped this SS2 because, like I said, I don't like taking anything under the 150, 175. But this one here, saw resistance there, so I took it to 144 and all the way down to 111, which is the yellow line here, for 33 cents per share. So on a on a 10K account, it would have been $33, and on a 50K account would have been $132. So this week alone, on a 10K account, would have made $756, which is roughly about 7.5%. And on a 50K account, you'd have made $3,784. So a very big win for this week, especially on a slow month of March. So if you like these patterns, if you like what we trade, so we short sell penny stocks that will pump to dilute. So every stock that we trade has very high dilution, which means that a lot of people, so we have essentially the people who are taking profit, they're selling here to take profit. We have the people that are diluting, so that's an extra selling pressure, and they almost always tank. But anyways, head over to my Discord, send Quad-S Trading a message there, and I can answer lots of your questions. Our course right now, we are offering a lifetime membership, so it is $250, and you get all of our premium channels and our tools, all of our custom tools that we built. It's a sweet little analyzer. You can analyze stocks very quickly. Within 15 seconds, it pulls up all the information you need to know if that stock is tradable or not for our strategy, and it does include our 4 entries of the SS1, 2, 3, and 4, and we are working on a 5th strategy. So anyways, that's it for this one, and we'll see you in the next.